Thank you for tuning in to a brand new edition of the Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Raymond Wu. On today's program, we're delighted and honored to have the president of Pacific Cycles in Taiwan, Mr. George Lin, as our special guest. Mr. Lin, would you please say hi to our viewers at home?
Hello, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be on this program.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you here, George. And if we may start off the program by asking you, George, I understand that in your career, that at one time you were a high school English teacher, and also later you subsequently got interested in the manufacturing of bicycle and the design of bicycle as well. And that was back in the 1970s. Can you give us a little bit the background story about how you got involved in bicycle design and manufacturing, and also how Pacific Cycles was first founded in the early 80s?
Okay. Yes. In 1970,
yes,
there was a very big bicycle boom.
Yes.
It's the biggest boom ever in the world.
Okay.
1970,
okay.
America sold 200,000 bicycles. But next year, the sales figure jumped to 8 million in 1 year.
That was the first oil crisis, I believe.
No, before the oil crisis.
Before the oil crisis.
Before the oil crisis.
Then what was the reason for the huge jump? Something like 40%.
Several reasons.
Yeah.
One of the reasons is the death of President Eisenhower.
Okay.
Because, and also at that time, the television just available.
Yes.
So the private physician of the president,
yes,
he was on the television almost every day talking about heart attack and the
state of health for the president.
Status, how to prevent heart attack.
Yes.
And bicycle was regarded as the best of the sports.
Okay.
Yeah. So in 1970, Taiwan only produced less than 20,000 bicycles
a year.
But in 71, the figure also jumped to almost 1 million.
Okay.
And bicycle export was the hottest topic in Taiwan.
Yeah.
So everyone talking about bicycle, how good is a business, and also I was attracted.
Okay.
So I went to a bicycle shop to get a bicycle home.
Okay.
Strip it down, put it back again, strip down again, second time, third time, fourth time.
Okay.
And then I fell in love with the bicycle industry. Okay. So I have a few friends raised about 800,000 NT.
Okay.
Like 20,000 US dollars.
Initial
and
capital.
Started a bicycle company.
Okay.
That is 1972.
Oh, okay.
And in 1980, I saw my interest in the original company and established Pacific Cycle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand for the past 29 years, Pacific Cycle has a very unique position in the cycle manufacturing market, not only in Taiwan, but the world over. Can you share with our viewers, what's your philosophy and how do you position Pacific Cycles compared with some other leading makers of the bicycle industry? How do you position as the advantage for Pacific Cycle in a very competitive market?
You mentioned about competitive market.
Yes.
The philosophy of Pacific Cycle is not to compete.
Okay.
We realize, we clearly realize we are a small company, and we cannot follow the business model of big companies.
Okay.
So we know our strengths, our weakness, our limitation, our constraint. So we find a niche for our survival and development.
And that niche being?
A small company.
Okay. And also I understand that your design of bicycle is very, very unique in the industry because you seem to tailor to the needs of consumers, not
Yes.
just market demands.
Yeah.
So you don't go, through the fluctuation as much as some of the giant, bicycle makers in Taiwan and elsewhere.
Yeah.
Is that your philosophy?
Yes, this is a very fundamental question.
Yes.
It touches upon the philosophy or value
Yes.
of Pacific Cycles. Pacific Cycle, we think we like to serve the need of users.
Okay.
Instead of satisfying the demand of market.
Okay.
So the need means people need it.
Okay.
And demand means people want it.
Okay.
And also can afford it. So like in the bicycle industry,
Yes.
right now, a big trend is a carbon fiber bicycle.
Okay.
Carbon fiber components. A lot of people like it. Just a big market demand. But actually, it's not necessary.
Because?
Because we think carbon fiber is not, good for environment.
Okay.
It cannot be recycled.
Okay.
It's just a trend, a fashion.
Okay.
On the other hand, like handicapped people, they need special type of bicycles.
Yes.
So Pacific Cycle is very willing to develop a special need bicycle, like a bicycle for, we ship to Ethiopia, we ship to Pakistan,
Yes.
this particular one.
Yeah. If I may ask our camera people to focus in on these diagrams that George has brought with him to show some of the unique designs of bicycles produced by Pacific Cycles. As you can see, these are not the ordinary everyday bicycles that you find in sporting goods stores or in bicycle shops. And can George please tell us, what's the design, for what kind of customers would need a cycle like this, and how did you come up with the design? What are the practical aspects of the design?
This bicycle, we call it a Mika.
Mika.
Mika is the name of a boy in America who suffered serious cerebral palsy.
Okay.
So
palsy. Yes.
victim of cerebral palsy, they have a contractive muscle.
Yes.
And they need to exercise to relax it.
Okay.
And in Taiwan, the handicapped people with the certificate, 50% of them are victims of cerebral palsy.
Yes.
So there's a big demand. However, the demand is not met. No one like to make the
bicycle
vehicle
like this.
for cerebral palsy.
Yes.
So like in year 2000, I visited institute, for this kind
Cerebral
of victims.
palsy, yes.
And I see the need, and then I developed this
You came
bicycle.
up with the design.
Yeah.
Also, this is very unique. If we may also zoom into this design, and this is something I learned before the program, that George, Pacific Cycles sell it to UNESCO, for mining victims. Can you tell us a little bit the background on this?
Yes. In many countries, like in Ethiopia or Pakistan, they are in the war situation.
Yes.
And
Civil
a
war,
lot of landmines. It's very dangerous. And a lot of victims. They lost their leg or their arm. So we developed this tricycle, hand-driven tricycle. And you can go forward, backward, and it's with heavy armor. So even can protect the body from explosion of landmines.
Landmine. Yes.
And this is a bicycle we supply to UNESCO. And they ship it to Ethiopia and Pakistan.
Okay. And before this segment ends, I want to show another design. And this is something that I've never seen before. Can you tell us the story behind this?
This is a bicycle for, lovers or families.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's a side-by-side tandem bicycle.
Okay.
So it can have a two-person pedaling independently.
Independently. Okay. Yeah. All right.
And maybe you can have also two kids sitting in the front. Oh. So the whole family can go out enjoying, you know, a picnic. You know.
Yeah. So now we've seen some of the very unique designs for Pacific Cycles. Yeah. If I may ask George next, and who are your major competitors in the market? And also, where do you sell you know, products to, in Taiwan or overseas?
Okay. We don't have competitors.
You don't?
Yes.
I would imagine that not many people want to compete with you.
It's our products.
Yes.
All of our products are very unique and also exclusive.
Yes.
For reason, number one reason is, you know, the market is very small.
Of course.
It's not worth the big companies to get involved.
Yes.
So they are not interested.
Okay.
And number two, is require very high technology.
Yes.
And also skill. So it's beyond, you know, their
production process.
Yes,
exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. And we're going to take a short break. And when we come back to the Taiwan Outlook, we'll continue this conversation with Mr. George Lin. And we're going to talk about his philosophy, not only in terms of marketing, but also in terms of internal management. We'll be right back.